Hi, this is Mark Wahlstrom, and welcome to the Legal Broadcast Network. This is another edition of Chairman Mark, our weekly commentary provided by the chairman of the Legal Broadcast Network, and that would be me. What we're going to talk about today, what else could we talk about other than the situation in the U.S. financial markets, but specifically the situation that's going on with AIG, American International Group, the giant of the insurance business, and one of the most pervasive, dominant factors in the property casualty world as we know it. You can't begin to understate the impact of last week's events on the property casualty and on the legal community in the United States. The world as we knew it and the business as it was practiced for the last 30 years has been changed permanently with the nationalization of AIG. And make no mistake about it, it is the nationalization of AIG, an $85 billion loan to provide them the liquidity to get out of the crisis that was caused by their credit and derivative, also known as their financial products division, writing these esoteric products that were providing credit guarantees on mortgage pools, a tremendously lucrative business, but one that has ultimately proven to have destroyed the company as they knew it, required them to go to the government for a bailout. We can certainly debate the policy implications, but I, for one, am not going to debate for a moment the necessity of them having to do this. If AIG went down, if AIG had filed for bankruptcy last week, I think I'd be sitting here talking to Monday morning, and we would be looking at 2 or 3 other insurance companies tottering on the brink, and we would be looking at a run on insurance company assets. Thankfully, the government stepped in. They did the right thing. I think they've negotiated in a way that's clearly in the best interest of the taxpayers. How do you know that? Because the AIG stockholders are already trying to put together a group to pay back the $85 million before the government's 80% ownership warrants kick in. That's how strong a deal they put together for the government on this. So thankfully, they drove a hard bargain for the U.S. taxpayer. But the result of that bargain is going to be the dissolution and the dissembling, I should say, of one of the great insurance empires ever created in not just the United States, but the world. AIG is truly an international company. They were basically founded in Asia. Were one of the key players in reinsurance and excess surplus lines. They built a tough, aggressive management structure personified by the former CEO and chairman Hank Greenberg, who is still trying to get back pieces of the AIG empire that he was forced out of due to the, many would call the unwarranted prosecution by Elliot Spitzer. But be that as it may, we really are looking at a situation now where AIG is going to be dissembled. Many of the pieces will be sold off. And what we're going to see is companies scrambling to buy the property casualty arms, which are highly profitable, amazingly efficient insurance operations, the life insurance, the variable annuity companies. Sun America, just a tremendous company, extremely well run. People are going to want to buy that. American General Life Insurance, AI Life. There are pieces of this company, the aircraft leasing division, that are just worth billions and billions of dollars. They're well capitalized, they're well financed. People are going to step in and buy them. But the fact is, as this company is broken into pieces and sold off to other people, it's going to have a tremendous impact on the litigation world as we know it. There was no company that paid more money to defense attorneys in the United States than AIG. If you were a defense firm in the United States, you wanted the AIG business because, again, they did business in all 50 states. They paid well, they're efficient, and they allowed their guys to defend their cases. So key elements that I want people to take away on AIG, and we will be following this story. This certainly isn't the last report that we're going to do, but really more of a commentary to our attorneys and people in the legal and financial world. The company will be dissembled. It will be sold. There's no question about that. What the implications are on that, it's too early to tell. We just don't know who's going to buy the pieces, but I'm absolutely convinced that we will find that there is no shortage of buyers of the AIG insurance operations and subsidiaries. The second element is don't panic about cases that you currently have claims in with AIG or are in litigation or are in court. Don't be short selling your clients' cases to get a case settled just because you think the money's not going to be there. This $85 billion, in my opinion, solved the crisis. It's given them the cash they need to operate. It's given them the breathing room. Bringing in Ed Liddy, the former president and CEO of Allstate, was a brilliant move. Extremely capable outside guy who understands this business as well as anybody, and I think is going to be the right man at the right time in handling the AIG situation. But don't be panicking and trying to sell cases and sell your clients short. These cases will fund. The state insurance commissioners are on top of the situation. Claims will be paid. Prosecute your cases and handle your claims negotiations the way that you always have been. The only thing you have to be aware of is that when people know that a company's up for sale, the rank and file guys, the claims managers, the claims adjusters, there's going to be a lot of people looking for, potentially looking for new work, new lines of business, partnering up with other companies. So I would say if you've got cases, keep them moving forward and be in touch with that claims guy so you don't get lost in the shuffle. I think that's important advice. The third element, really more of a internal deal, is AIG, as many trial lawyers are well aware, was just adamant about using their own structured settlement brokers and their own life market on structures to the point where they would force people and almost blow up deals if you didn't do it. If you are a trial lawyer and you are in the midst of negotiating a structured settlement and you have an AIG subsidiary or claims person insisting that you have to use their approved broker or that you have to use their approved life market, you've never been in a stronger position to be able to come in and say, well, you guys just got downgraded substantially. There's no way they can force you to use their subsidiaries. Now, that said, I don't think you should just arbitrarily not utilize American General or AI Life. They're good companies. They're well managed. They're going to pay their claims, and they're going to be around a long time. But at the same time, if you feel like you're being unduly pressured by a claims person to keep money in-house and to send it to an AI subsidiary, I just would preach some caution and some wisdom on that. Don't let people push you in that regard. Get with a good structured settlement claims professional so that you understand what your options are in those particular cases. So basically, to wrap up, the watchword right now would be careful consideration of the facts. It's unprecedented week. The U.S. Economy, the U.S. financial system is still it's precarious. People, are watching the news hour by hour. I think the bailout is probably going to get the job done, but now the debate has begun over the wisdom of this, over the policy value of it. Is Congress going to move quickly enough? The main thing I want to preach to people is this is absolutely the wrong time to panic. When you're in a panic situation, you're selling at the bottom of a market, you're selling assets that you shouldn't sell. The U.S. economy, even though we're in for a difficult stretch here, we've got the right people in charge of the Treasury. We've got some really brilliant people working on this. I'm sure that this situation is going to be resolved, but the long-term cost is going to be enormous, and the long-term changes in our system, the nationalization of the insurance system, the nationalization of the mortgage system, is going to have enormous policy implications, and it's again, none of us knows really where this is headed, but in the meantime, don't be cashing out those contracts. Don't be making panic moves. You're going to live to regret it if you do. Just talk to professionals, know what you're doing before you settle a claim, and keep your cases moving forward. Unprecedented times. Make sure that you're watching us here on the Legal Broadcast Network. We've got all kinds of experts we're going to be bringing in every single week to discuss this. Be sure that you join us every single day. Check out our front page. See who we've got, see what we've brought into this, see what kind of speakers and experts that we have providing commentary, and keep yourself and your practice up to date. Thanks for joining me this week on this edition of Chairman Mark, and appreciate your continued support and interest in the Legal Broadcast Network.